Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing incredibly well. We got Carlos saying good evening, we're Bobby saying hi, we're Achindo, we're Abi, Mario, Kelvin, Alvin, Jack. Awesome. Now let's get straight into it right now. So I'm gonna share my screen. Awesome. So the first thing when we start, whenever we look at charts, we want to buy a stock, we want to sell a stock, the really first thing we're gonna look into is literally just this. Yeah, we literally the first thing we're going to go into is literally go to S&P 500 just to see how the stock has been doing overall. And as I said many times, I just want to say it again as with some new students here, and repetition is really the mother of skill. And you can see no matter what happened to the economy, really no matter what happened, things keeps going higher and higher, 1998, things really keeps going and higher and higher and higher and higher like that. And when it goes higher like that, like a parabolic goes higher like that big time. And stock markets is very fair. Can you see the 5 years, 1997, 1996, 1996? So anyone who, a lot of people here will be chasing the tail. Okay, chasing the tail, and things going up big time. So this is a situation where where before this we are using typing, we are using like manual dictionary. The most powerful thing that we've got here is the computer dictionary. We have some small mini computer dictionary and stuff. So and then later on we have some computers, big ass computer, really big computers. And people are getting internet started to form during this circle in 1997, 1998. People start to have internet a little bit. They start to be able to go on the websites. They start to use Yahoo and all of that kind of going on there. And it is a real thing. Technology is a real thing. So people are getting very hype up, very excited, and the stock went up big time. Really went up big time. And it's like it never breathes. It just keep going up big time for like 3, 4, 5 years. It just keep going higher and higher, really beautifully. And what happened? So when it goes up big time, this is a situation where everyone thinks that the stock market will never come down. It has built inside your brain that the stock market is just like a train. It's like just keep going higher and higher. It literally just keep going higher. It builds inside everyone else's brain. No one is there to talk about market crash. No one, because if you talk about the market crash, you're not going to be good. Because for the longest time, the stock market just keep going higher and higher and higher. So it committed to everyone else's brain. Everyone was like, get into it, get into Netflix, get into like Cisco. Cisco was very famous at that time. And get into like Microsoft, all of that stuff. Like people was like, get into it. So it was literally in everyone else's brain that stock market is the things that never crash. No one there, no one. If you go to the TV, if you talk about market might crash, they fire you. They fire you. They say, why do you talk about this in the TV? They literally fire you. Because and you're costing hedge funds a lot of money. So it's not good. So no one, almost 100% of the time, everyone was just talking about the bull market. The market is going up, market is going up, market is going up. Yeah. Because if you try to talk a little bit about the bad stuff of the market, people will be like, what's going on? And people really hate you big time. And then so it keeps going up higher, higher and higher, higher. And as you know what happened when it goes so high up to the point where everyone was in love with the market, in love with the stock market. And what happened? The stock market really comes down really nicely. Yeah. And for 5 years, for 4 years, what's that called? Warren Buffett actually did not invest anything. A lot of really great traders and investors, they didn't actually invest anything. And it really comes back down really beautifully. And then when it comes out beautifully, and then everyone would when it really comes out like that, it's crazy where people are really sad, people commit suicide, all of that, right? Right, market crash really sad. Like people will be like, how come the market crashed? Like, they don't believe that. They keep buying all of that. And then it comes back really nicely. But technology is a real thing though. Internet is a real thing. It's not a fake stuff. It's actually a real thing. It's just that people, it's just what happened. and it happens all of the time. And then people start buying properties. Okay, let's not get into internet now. Let's get into property. And people go into property and borrow a lot of money. And then it came back down really, really beautifully as well. And then now it's come back up really, really nicely for some time, and then it came up really nicely. So you can see no matter what happened to the economy, whether it's World War I, whether it's radio, whether it's horse, whether it's aeroplane, we all have this kind of spike up big time. We all have this spike up big time. Eventually come back down really nicely. However, investing in stock is such a great thing because no matter what happened, e- eventually it's going to be okay again. Yeah, no matter what happened, it's going to be okay again. Forex is not like that. Now, nothing is like that. It's going to be okay again. And then this is what happened. And then it went up really, really nicely, big time. 2015, maybe, um, interest rate happen here. And then there's a Brexit kind of things going on here, a lot of crashes here in the between for this 3 to 4 years time. And then it went up, people, went up like that. And then really, really nice. This is Corona. Actually, this is Corona. So this Corona crashed all the way back down to 5 years, literally. This 2020, it crashed all the way back down to 4, 5 years. So anyone who invests in this 4 to 5 years time all came back down like that. Yeah. So you can see the Corona crash all came back to 4 to 5 years. It give you back 4 to 5 years worth of discount. And it went all the way high up again. This is the inflation crash. And then it went all the way back down. This is 2021 December. It went all the way back down. Yep, all the way back down here, 1st of September, just here, around 2 years worth of discount, 1 year worth of discount. And then it went up again really nicely. And then we have a tariffs crash just in April time. Tariffs crash also went back around 1 year, 1.5 year kind of discount. Yeah. So no matter, no, usually it's like that. So right now, you can see this is what happened to the economy. Things just keep going higher and higher, really, really nicely. So investing in stock market, I want to say congratulations for a lot of you who really, really decided to really go all in to invest in the stock market because eventually it's just keep going higher and higher. Okay, so that's kind of what happened now. And in this situation, when you invest in some like really, really powerful stocks, really high guidance stocks, really, really high momentum stocks, you will see that you make even more income. You make even more income. Yeah. So we will talk more about that kind of later on. How do we do that? So right now, you will see that the market is going higher a little bit, but in total, it's actually not gone more than 5%. Yeah, it's gonna like 1%, 2% with a pound sterling hedge. It's actually just 1 to 2%. Let me just show you. If you type VUSA, which is if you're in Britain, based in the UK, you are very similar. You have a base in the UK. If you buy stock, the stock is exactly the same price as you are right now. So when you look at the chart, it looks like you're going higher and higher. But if you buy Nvidia, if you buy Tesla, if you buy a lot of these American stocks, your money is actually not growing. Okay, you can see your money is just stop here. You'll be like, oh, people see King is going higher and higher and higher, go all time higher. Your money is just stuck there. It's exactly the same. You invested right now in 29th of September is exactly the same as people who just before they gone back to the crash. So it's exactly the same situation. Yeah. So this is when you're using pound. Okay. You're investing your pound, you're buying trading to one to an eToro and all of that. So you're converting back the pound to US dollar. So it works out the same. You are not actually missing out on anything because it's just gone nowhere for September. It's gone sideways. September it gone sideways. Where is that? Yeah, it's just gone sideways and hasn't gone anywhere. This 1 2% is literally peanuts. It's literally just peanuts. Yeah. So it's very, very small because if you invest in some really powerful stocks later on, when the time comes, you will see that you will make even more profits going on. Okay. So anyway, so that's the first part right now. So yeah, yep. So that's the first part. A lot of our students successfully, we've been doing this for a long time. A lot of our students, I will show you, we really aim each of the bottom really beautifully and nicely, especially the one because of the strategy. I will show you more about that later on as well. So let's go back to the normal US 500 real quick. So yeah, so that's kind of what happened. So let's draw some analysis right now. Step number two on week two training, you kind of draw your trend line. Yep, just your trend line just right there. So it's showing you that no matter what happened, when it bounce here, it's really time for you to go all in. And then the second part is your support and resistance line. Your support line, which is right here, and your resistance line, which is right here. Yeah. So a lot of people will be very tempted to want to buy stock here. You'll be like, Raven, it's a technology stock which is like it never seems to go down. Let me just get in. And the moment where everyone get in, when you feel like you really can't control yourself, there's a time where we should celebrate. Because there's a time where if you even if you feel like getting in, there's a time when you should celebrate because everyone would have, almost even taxi driver, the people behind the taxi driver want to buy something because it actually feels like that. It actually feels like, you really want to get in like that. But when the taxi driver gets in, that means no one else can buy anymore. Everyone have bought it already. So there's only one thing that's gonna happen. That's gonna come down only. Yeah. But anyway, so that's kind of what happened. And the good news about trading and investing is that you don't need to predict. You never have to predict whether it's gonna come up, whether it's gonna come down. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is to know that when it is undervalued. You just need to know that okay, the stock is actually undervalued. Yeah, you wait for the time to come to you. That now, coming back, so this is where we are right now, and what's going to happen? So this is where we are right now. So support line is like, okay, coming back here is where you should add a little bit of position here. Yeah, when you add a little bit here. This is just at all-time high back in 9th of December time, 10th of February time. So back in here like that. Yeah. So if it comes back here, there will be even nicer. This is where you really want to go all in. Yeah. But we will choose some really powerful stocks to make even more as well. Now, so that's kind of what happened. That's based on step three. So a lot of people will be very, very tempted to get in here. Very, very tempted to get in here. It's very, very normal to have the temptation because this is what the stock market is really doing. You really the news always happen after the chart has been formed. All the news that you see on social media, like CNBC, Yahoo, whatever that is, it forms after the chart has been formed. Bitcoin went all-time high. The driver wants to buy. And because everyone was kind of like doing well already, and people ask everyone else's to buy, and there's no more buying energy. There's no more buying energy. And when everyone else's wants to buy, normally it's already very, very expensive, very, very high. There's only one way that's gonna happen, it's gonna come back down. Yeah. So as I show you before, whether you aim at the top, you aim at the bottom, and stuff like that, even if you get really formal, you aim here, eventually, if you're patient enough, it's always come back to you. Yeah. Like here you'll be like, oh, it's like a rocket, it never comes down. And eventually they come back to you really beautifully. Yeah. The same thing here. Um, so that's kind of what happened. We have been in markets for more than 100 years, so many, many years. I've never seen one time where the market just go up like that and it never comes back down. Okay, especially when the P ratio of the market is super high. You look at the PE ratio of the market right now, the forward PE ratio of SP 500 right now. If you just look at it, just have a look. The forward PE ratio of the market right now is is exactly the same as where we were when we were at, let's have a look. So this is 2019. This is just before the corona. This is 2020. Okay, let me just ask you a question. This is a PE ratio strategy. So let me just ask you a question real quick. So I don't know, like in here, 7th of January, the PE ratio is the highest that you ever seen. Would you buy or would you sell? Just type in the chat box for me real quick. Just type in the chat box. Even the P ratio is the highest that you would you buy or would you sell? Just have the chat box there. Yeah. So 7th of January using our P ratio strategy. So let's have a look. So let me have a look. So Calvin, Favor, Alvin, Mario, Jean, Sal, be back, and all of that. So let's have a look. So if you go to what 7th of January, just right here. Let's have a look. The top 7th of January 2022. If I go all the way back, 7th of January 2022, and the PE, can you see it's exactly what we are seeing right now? Which is just here, 3rd of January, 7th of January, you can see when it's the high. It might not come down eventually, it might not come down straight away though. Look, can you see that's just hovering for 3 months, guys? The stock market just go 3 months or sideways, like dancing like that, not going anywhere for 3 months. That's crazy. Just think about that. Just going nowhere. The highest, the P ratio is super high. It's not just when you touch, it's not when you touch, it came back down straight away. It literally there for some time before it come back down. You get a lot of people are very impatient. They'll be like, oh, it's getting higher and higher and higher. People get in, get in, get in, get in, get in. When everyone is getting in, there's no more energy. Let's look at the volume a little bit. Let's look at the volume. We're getting, 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 no more energy. The volume getting, 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 and the volume peak a little bit there. When the volume peak, usually the volume peak is kind of reversal. You can see the volume peak here. It's going to come back down. You can see it went up. Volume a little bit of peak here. You'll be like, oh, volume peak, why is it not coming back down? And then wait a little bit, volume peak another one, you know, and eventually it came back down nicely. Yeah. So and then we have another one here, 6th of December 2024. That's like a year ago. Should you buy or should you sell? 6th of December 2024. One of our PE is right at the highest. Our forward PE is right at the highest. 6th of December. Should you buy or should you sell? Would you buy stock in 6th of December? Tell in chat box for me. So let's have a look. So Vishal says sell, Mel says sell, Alvin says sell, Mario says sell. Let's have a look whether it's true or not. Let's have a look. We never know. Let's have a look. 6th of December will just be, it's the same. It's like a rocket. It's like a rocket going on December, July, September, October. So for 3 months like that, it just gone nowhere. December, December, December. So this is December. It just gone nowhere. Do the same thing as what we are doing right now. Can you see the December? 29th of November. So it's just going nowhere for quite some time. People are getting impatient, like what's going on, what's going on? And then finally, what happened? It wait till February. This is what happened. In February, 17th of February, it crashed down around 30%. Nvidia crashed down 50%. Palantir crashed down 50%. Netflix crashed down 50%. Meta crashed down 50%. So if you have half of your money, if you have 1 million pounds, if you have 100K in any of the stocks, if you get in just right on top, it came back down. Now it's the same situation again right now. It's really, really weird. We are almost there. We are now here. We are 29th of September right now. It's the same, very same similar situation. This is the situation you kind of want to record your emotion. This is a situation will be like, oh, when, like what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, you know? And that's kind of what is happening right now. What's going on right now. Yeah. So eventually you can see things eventually. Now we are here. So I've shown you the three peak just now, the 30th of December peak, the 6th of December peak. Now, no one knows this is gonna fall, guys. No one knows this is gonna fall unless you have the strategy like what we are doing right now. How can you suddenly will be like, oh, you climb the ladder and suddenly you think that it's not gonna continue to go higher and higher. If you don't have a strategy, you will be like, you know what? You know what? S&P 500 in December last year, it's just gonna keep going higher and higher and higher, higher like that because it's supposed to. You draw a trend line, it's like go up like you draw your technical analysis, you go up like that very nicely. Yeah, but because you're on the training, you know how to value stock. One of the best way to value stock is look at the forward PE ratio of the thing. So you can just look at that, and then you look at let's draw it properly. Where's our draw, and then let's draw a straight line. Just like that, you'll be like, oh, whenever we are there, we kind of have to be careful a little bit. Okay, just be careful a little bit. It's not a sharp. It's not one day rocket like that. It's never like that. It takes time. It takes time. Last almost all without a section, it takes around some time there, hovering around. Okay, hovering around. But you're not missing out on anything. As I said, you're not literally missing out on anything. It's literally the same. If you're based in the US, sorry, if you're based in the UK, most people here are. If you're not buying anything, you're absolutely fine. Let me show you. You know, like, for the past whatever that is, it's just literally. Let's have a look. Let's go weekly. Yep, it's literally just there. You don't need this 1 to 2%. You don't need these a few percentage like go like if I show you before the crash anything. You don't need this percentage like this. Oh, went up higher one candle. Oh, higher candle. Oh, two candle up. You don't need this percentage because eventually it came back down beautifully and really, really nicely. Yeah. Just think for a second. Technology, internet is such a powerful thing. Internet, guys. Before that, we don't even go to yahoo.com. We don't even have email. Email started in 1995. That's where internet actually starts. Computer science 1995. Everyone right now has internet. Everyone right now has what? Everyone right now has what? Has a computer, has a laptop. Yet it was a bubble. Can you just believe that? Yet it was a bubble in 2000. Everyone has it. Everyone has it. Like in 2000, everyone literally have it. And yet it can be a bubble. Yet the market can crash down 50%. Today, yes, AI is really powerful. AI is increasing productivity. Dude, last time, iPhone is not just iPhone. What's his name? Email is increasing productivity. We used to go letters, Royal Mail. We used to do letters like that. And email is increasing productivity big time. The argument is AI is increasing productivity big time. Same thing with technology. It was increasing productivity big time and it can also crash 50%. And now 80% of our stuff is technology. Yes, even though AI is real later on, 80% of our stuff is going to be AI. Your robots is going to be everywhere. But same thing with technology. Technology is everywhere and it can still crash. So it's weird, isn't it? So it's weird. So what's that mean? So that means that if you study history properly, aeroplane, we invent aeroplane, we have a bubble for aeroplane. If I can show you the chart, I will show you the chart for aeroplane. We have a radio, we have a bubble for a radio, goes up big time, stock market like a rocket, and eventually they came back down nicely. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. So same thing, we are not right now kind of here. So we're just waiting for kind of that to happen at the moment. Yeah. Cool. So and you are not alone. A lot of people are not buying right now. If you look at the most powerful person in the world, like Open Insider, the really, really smart people like Jensen Huang, like Warren Buffett, like anyone really smart right now, a lot of them, the red line is people are selling. People actually been selling stocks. While the blue line, you can see September, the blue line, no one is actually buying. If anything, the buying actually decline. Let me just show you right there. How do I show you the line? Yep, the blue line, for those who are new, the blue line is a purchasers. This is the directors, the CEO and directors of company. The blue line actually came back down really, really nicely. Yeah, the blue line actually came back down really, really nicely. Directors are even the CEO of the company is not buying. The people who own those companies are not even buying. Why are we so rush? So that's kind of first part, okay? And it's actually and based on this chart, you will see that the easiest way to make money is actually by buying. People change life, make money massively like never before by buying. And I say many times, in reality, I will show you later on, you just need to, in life, how many times do you need to get rich? 5 times, 20 times, 100 times? No. You just need to do it one time. You just have to go in one time. Okay. So when the time comes as well, we're going to be using some leverage as well. On eToro, you can choose a leverage from 5 leverage to 20 leverage when it's way undervalued. You text me before you use leverage so we can do it together. On IG, so it's also leverage. On later on as well, when the time is really, really nice as well, we're gonna have an emergency on sessions as well where we do things together as well. Cool. So let's come back here real quick. Let's go back to our websites real quick, step by step. So that's step number three. We draw a trend line there. And step number four, what we're gonna do, step number five, we're just gonna put our indicators on. Let's put some beautiful indicators on. Let's do Bollinger Band. Okay. So you see, let me have a look here. Do. Yeah. The time to really go all in, you can see the volume spike up big time. It's a really nice time for a reversal. Okay, you can see there's a volume in big time. You will see the volume itself when people are actually buying. Smart people are buying, the volume will peak big time just right here. It will crash down big time, volume peak. Crash down big time, volume peak. When you see the volume pick up big time like that, that's where you kind of want to get greedy a little bit. You want to be really, you want to be like, ooh, You know, you want to be a peak volume is a change of direction, it's a sign for reversal. Write that down. Yeah. Especially when it's been selling, 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 when a peak of volume like that is actually something. Yeah. And we don't really have a huge peak of volume, a little bit of selling here. There's a peak of volume here. You will see that in this situation, we don't really have a lot of peak of volume kind of going on. So these are all very temporarily, okay? Very temporarily. So 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 what we're gonna do right now, we're just gonna go to use our strategy real quick as well. Let's see. These are some sectors going on. Hmm. So in all of the sectors that you see, if you really want to play safe, if all of the sectors that you see so far using our strategy, which sectors do you think is kind of like okayly cheap? So when we don't just want to buy sectors that is cheap, we want to buy sector that's kind of high growth as well. So this is the P ratio of all of the sectors. So you will see that the sectors is actually quite okay. It's actually financial sectors. The P ratio is actually quite low compared to everyone else, and as well as healthcare sectors. Yeah. So these are potentially to come out big time. Why not energy and utility sectors? These are defensive sectors, okay? Defensive sectors are sectors where where it's very defensive, the growth is very small. It's normally way underperforms the SP 500. Okay, if you do energy and utilities. But when the market crash big time, these two is actually gonna crash the least. Okay, so we can see financial sectors and healthcare right now is kind of getting a little bit more undervalued at the moment. So if you own this kind of ETFs for a really for some time, you are almost never gonna lose your money because sectors always come back up. The healthcare sectors have financial sectors always come back up. Yeah. So let's come back right now. Mm, where are we? Let's just go back to our step one. Just really look at the sentiment of the people. So let's start with here, more data on fear and greed. Let's look at what the insiders. IG sentiment is very interesting. Let's go IG sentiment real quick. Crypto is quite interesting as well. And AAIM, market valuation, and okay, that's good. So let's do this real quick because we have some new students here. Just to recap back, because as you say, the secret to um to mastery is repetition. So you can see the blue line is actually our fear and greed index. Okay, okay, this is the stock market. The blue line is our fear and greed index. Okay, so without looking at the stock market, you kind of know when you are supposed to go all in and you never stop. Let me just ask you a question. Yeah, without looking at the chart, let's see if you can get it. So what about here? In 4th of April, right there, would you buy or would you sell when the fear and greed is at 5? Type in the chat box real quick. Because the more you type it, the more you're gonna get it. Yeah. So when the fear and greed is 5, would you buy or sell? When people are panicking big time, thinking it's a scam, like people getting impatient, where the world is gonna end. This is yeah. So let's say similar thing here. So you can see the lower that it gets, the better that is as well. But even if you got in just around this value, even 5th of March, you are still fine. Okay. Even you get in on the 5th of March, you are still fine. Okay. This is still a buying zone. So you can see the buying zone usually lasts for a month. It goes from 5th of March to around there. This is just based on fear and greed index. Okay. So, and then we have another one, 9th of August. Would you buy or sell on 9th of August? Tell the chat box for me. When the fear and greed index come back to around to here, when anything that's below 20 is kind of like this is like 17. Okay, it's not very high. So when it's like that, you can start adding more positions on. You can add a little bit more positions on, and you want to keep your stop loss quite clear. And because and you want to check whether it's massively undervalued or not. Okay, so let's have a look. So this will you'll be buying there as well. Okay, so what about here? 2nd of October. What would you do here? 2nd of October. It lasts for a month there as well, and 25th of October. So it just lasts for around there. Where when the fear and greed is just at the bottom, just right there. When it lasts from there to there. Okay, what would you be doing there? Okay, so a lot of people say, let me go to the chat box. Carol say bye, Harsh say bye, Favo, Maria, Harsh, Carlo, Favor, Abby, Alvin say bye, well done. So you can see this is kind of the buy zones as well. And similarly here, 16th of March as well, you can see 3rd of October here as well. You can see this is really low, really big pocket for us. And then May also quite good there. And the list keeps going and going and kind of going there. Okay. So that itself will give you around 95% of the time to make a lot of money. Okay, if you buy them, if you hold them, you will make a lot of money. So let's have a look. So let's put on the chart back. So yeah, exactly what we saw. So let's just make it a bit easier. So you can see that every single time when we are around this kind of zone, you can see that the stock market eventually just went up back up big time like that. So well done for a lot of you who say that. Just now, you can see when the stock market was just around the bottom 7th of August, just right there. It's just like a big zone like that, and it went back up really nicely like that as well. And the last one that we have kind of like here, just October time, and it went up big time like that as well. Okay, now now how do we make a lot of money on this market? So there are few ways you can make a lot of money. So what happened here is that if you just buy the usual index, okay, most people they wouldn't do anything. They would just buy the stock that they want. Okay, the first way most people will do, they will buy the usual index. This is like your VOO and stuff like that. All of that you will make money. Okay, most people they listen to YouTuber, they buy the usual VOO. You will make money, but you will not make a lot of money. Okay, but if you buy the one that is hedge ETF hedge on GBP, that means you buy the S&P 500 that is hedged on GBP, you will make a little bit more money. But if you buy things like QQQ, which is a technologist, you will make even more money. Okay. If you buy like leverage on an ISA account, on your share dealing account, you have 3x leverage kind of QQQ and stuff like that, GBP, VOO, you make three times more as well. Okay. There's a leverage, 2x leverage, 3x leverage as well without using any other platform. If you use eToro 20x, 10x, you make even more as well. Yeah, a lot of these return are quite powerful. And if you use option trading, if you do a call option, okay, in a higher level training, we do teach you how to do a call option when things are super undervalued. You are almost guaranteed to make money. We teach you how to do a call options as well, and you make 100x of your money back. Okay, this is just buying normal indexes. But we talked about this before. The reason why we're doing a lot of this guidance is because we get to choose a really great ones. I repeat, the reason why we do the guidance stock, because we get to choose a really great one. Because at a lot of this timing, we're gonna be choosing stocks that is incredible and it's gonna be mind blowing. Okay, so we're gonna choosing guidance stocks that's increased 10%. So while we are filtering your guidance stock going on, you want to put it on your watch list, put it on the watch list, put it on the watch, put it on the watch list, because when the time comes, you want to pull them all back and double check them again. So you want the guidance to be making sure they're more than 10%, more than 20%, more than 30%, more than 40%. The higher that is, the more growth your money is gonna be. Okay. And this can be a lot of examples. If I have the time, I will show you some really powerful examples as well. Um 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 so rather than just making, if you just buy any of these here, you probably make 100% return, things like that. But if you bought like stocks, you make 1,000% return times thousand times 100%. So you just like, so it's really sky is the limit. All right, it's really sky's the limit, and you can start as small as 250 pounds, etc. Yeah, so that's kind of what happened. How we really multiply a lot of our money really fast. So what about when we are at extreme greed time? Okay, what do we do when we're at extreme greed time? Extreme greed is a bit tricky. You see, when we're at extreme greed time, you can see the extreme greed, it hovers for quite a long time. Extreme greed, people are getting greedy, hovers quite a long time. Eventually, it did came to where we want. Extreme greed time was quite a long time. Eventually, it did came to where we want. Can you see this extreme greed was so long? And then eventually, it came back a little bit like that. And then a little bit of extreme greed here. And it takes 3 to 4 months for the stock to crash down. Okay, these are 4 months for the stock to crash down. So extreme greed is okay, especially when right now we have a lot of new things coming in. We have AI coming in. Trump is pumping the market big time, where literally. He literally got sad. He literally just pumping the market big time. Is crazy. So yeah. So you can see a little bit here. So eventually it's gonna come back down big time. But extreme greed, selling extreme greed can be a good thing, but you just got to be really, really, really patient. Make sure your guidance stock is actually going down big time. I'll show you some of the guidance stock that we've done, so that you can see what's the difference of it. So and shorting, you really want your technical analysis, just write it down. In shorting, you want all of the steps that we taught you to be perfect. You want your technical analysis to be perfect, just at the resistance line. You want the PE to be quite high, to historical high PE, really important, high PE, if you really want to do something. And number three, if you want to short something, obviously you want to make sure the guidance has decreased like never seen before. Yeah, the three things. First is technical analysis. You make sure it's a resistant line. It will be nice. Second, the PE don't be lowest. Number three, and you want to make sure the guidance decrease coming down like never before. All right. But anyway, let's come back here. So that's kind of what happened. So let's look at a lot of these GBP and all of that later on, and US dollar, SB 500. Let's click on all of this thing, see how this is gonna go. And sentiment on this is quite powerful. So I will show you a little bit so you know how it kind of works a little bit just there. So I showed you before. For those who don't know how to use this sentiment is it's quite powerful. Yeah, if you find that you don't have anything to do, come on this, you will actually see it. So how we're gonna work is we're gonna be like that. Can you see here when the price is at here 1.33, pound sterling and US dollar tends to come back down. Okay, so what you do, you literally just continue that line. Let me continue that line. Just continue this line like that. Just continue this line. Oops. Okay, this is called the power of strategy or power back testing. Okay, so can you kind of like, and you can see it again really, really beautifully. Most people will never taught you this really powerful stuff. Never seen anyone taught this in my entire life. So you can see next time when it comes back. Okay, so we are here. It came back down. Next time when the line is here again, you can see the pound sterling comes back down really nicely. And then next time, wait, oh, comes back down here, and pound sterling came back down really nicely again. Can you see how powerful that is? So this is where you think the pound is going to keep going lower. And this is where you think the US dollar is going to keep going, you know, the other way. But what about the another way? Okay, let's do another way real quick. So very similar stuff. You just look at here, you draw the line here. Okay, 1.34, something like that. You can see this what GBP went up. Pound sterling tends to go up then. You draw a line. You start to draw a line just right here. And then you just draw a line, like just a straight line like that. And you will see that it's like a magic, guys. It's like a magic. Why? This is it. So if I'm gonna draw, let's pretend you can't see anything. Let's pretend you can't see. You can't see. Oops. Let's pretend you you can't kind of see. Um, Let's have a look. Yeah, let's pretend you can't kind of see. Some people will be like, "Oh, wait, what can I trade?" Like this is literally how. So you can't see anything. How do I cover it? So you can't see anything. You'll be like, "Okay." Now Raven say every time it touches here, we kind of want to buy. So it touches here, it went up. Then you'll be waiting, you waiting, and then it touches there again one more time, and then it went back up. You see, it touches around there. It went back up nicely and touches there. It went back up nicely. It touches there and it went back up nicely. Yeah, so pound sterling might come back up a little bit nicer. Let's just remove that thing. So let's make it bigger again. So yeah, so that's kind of what we are seeing right now. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. I will show you more examples so you completely get it. So you will be like, Raven, when am I supposed to short pound sterling against US dollar? When am I gonna down my pound? I don't want my pound anymore. So you just have to wait for every time we come here. You want you don't want your pound anymore. You come here. This is where you do not want your pound anymore. You come here. You do not want your pound anymore. Okay. So right now it's not there yet. So it's not there yet. So pound might not come down yet. That's the first part. So it's saying that pound might continue to go up a little bit, okay, from what we are seeing here. Now, that's the first part. What I also want to talk about is the correlation between US dollar and what? And the stock market, the correlation between US dollar and the stock market. So let's see. So you can see when the pound sterling and US dollar is coming down. Okay, then when the pound sterling and US dollar is actually coming down, we need the stock market to be there. So that means that US dollar has actually been going up. And the US dollar been going up because the US dollar actually been made because the dollar it's not normally, just write it down. US dollar usually has an inverse relationship with S&P 500. They have an inverse relationship with S&P 500. Yeah. So you can see when the GBP against US dollar is going up. It sounds very complicated, but just accept it. US GBP and US dollar is going up, but you can see the US dollar is actually getting weaker a little bit. So you can see the stock is actually going higher a little bit there. Okay, but let's do another example. Let's do another example. So it's easier to see. Now S&P 500 is a bit tricky, just right there. This is US 30. This is Nasdaq. They're quite stable. This is Germany. Mm, also quite stable there as well. But you kind of can see, or you kind of can tell, like, look, when we are at the low here, when the sentiment is very low here, you can see that the stock tends to come down. So you just have to draw that line again, kind of like that. And you'll be like, when it touches here again, you can see it touches here, so it tends to come down like that as well. Okay. So that's kind of what happened there. Mm. So if you want things to come down, this guy has to touch here. Okay, this guy has to touch here. Cool. Let's do another one. Okay, this is S&P and AAIM is just hovering at the top. That's the valuation. The valuation is a very, very big topics as well. Um, this is the September 29. Okay, cool. So let's go back just right there. Um, so we are neutral stage now. We are almost there. Put and call options, see at the low, see at the low. So yeah, we're just waiting for it to spike up. Awesome. So that's kind of what happened. Okay. So what kind of stocks is going to make the most money during that time is now this part of the chapter is your guidance stock. So going through the guidance is very, very crucial and very, very important. Okay. Going through the guidance is very crucial and very important. So let's go through the guidance one by one right now. If you've done your homework, say me as a host and panelist, so we can look at your homework. Okay. So let's see. You can send me your charts as well. Do, 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 do. Cool. Let's have a look on these beautiful students to see if we can open it. Now, this part of the training is a kind of like week 4 kind of training. For those who are new, you might not get it like that, but try to accept it. Because we talk about how do we make even more money rather than buying all these indexes, we can buy individual stocks. You're gonna make even more money. I will show you later on um some examples of exactly what we actually meant. So well done. So let's have a look. The first one that we've got is called concentrics. So let's see. It would be nice to have a guidance plotting graph. So we have a chart with the guidance on top. It will be really nice. But let me read this. So when you're presenting, this is very important. So I can read it. So we're advancing, we're share down. So there's nothing going on. Lower the guidance. Okay, so they lower the guidance, but they didn't say how much. So we're gonna do it one by one. So let's have a look. So when you're reading it, you don't read the first sentence because reported is a past tense. You don't read the second sentence because it's a was. You don't read the third sentence just because it was a was again. You don't read the fourth sentence just because it was a compared. There's a D, the past tense. We want something to make money. We need to look at the future. So this is good though. The full year report. Okay. So we go to full year report. So we want to compare with the one before. You can see this is all implies is a present tense, and these are all present tense, I think. Okay, pretend. So now we're just going to compare this and that to see what happens. So 7.920, 7.985. This actually increased in the full year reported revenue. What about this? Revenue growth 1%, 1.7%. It was also growing. Operating income 11.53. So EPS dropped a little bit. Okay, EPS dropped from 11.53 to 11. So if you can draw the graph, it'll be good. So in order for us to short something, we need everything to comes down. We need the revenue is very important. Write that down. Revenue is actually more important than EPS and than your earning net income. All that. Revenue is this is actually very important because is how many people are actually coming in your demand. Yeah. So this is so revenue is actually up because 7298 is actually up. And you just compare between the numbers, and the bigger the numbers, the difference, the more money is going to be made. So that's okay. So yeah, that's about it. Is okay. Let's see this concentrics. Concentric. Do. Let's have a look. Just like that. And then this is what we have. And then this is what we have. So it looks like it's a downward shares. Let's go back there. So if we have plotted the graph nicely, we can see if it happens before or not. Okay. So compared to quarters is okay. But one more thing is that in order to make a lot of money, write that down, we need to make sure it never happened before. And the only way, if we know it has never happened before, is by looking at the past. So we go to March as well. So you look at March was 11.18, 11.53. So it was increased last time. And you go back again to like what 2.49. What about the full year? Didn't see the full year here. And then the full year is 11. Full year was 11.4. So you can see that's kind of decreased a little bit here. 11.4, 11.05, you know, 11.6 to 11.4. So it decreased before, kind of in the past. If you draw the graph nicely, you will see. So it kind of decreased really nicely like that in the past. So in order to be very, very confident that it's going to continue to come down, I recommend to plot the graph to see if it's actually going to keep on, if it's actually big, to keep on decreasing nicely. Yeah, this is a very good find actually. This is a very good find. We might come back to this concentrates. And the reason why is because the EPS, as you said, it actually dropped the EPS from 11.5 to 11. But the problem is the rest of the revenue is not coming down as much as we want. So in order to backtest this, we need to see in the past if the revenue also comes down as well. Okay. So that's kind of what happened. Concentrate student make some money there. Nice. Cool. Okay. We have one there. Awesome. We might come back to that. Who else have done this as well? Let me have a look. Do. Core weave. Nice. So this student's done the core weave thing. Really, really powerful. Okay. Let's read through his core weave thing. So core weave say is signed the 14 billion. Oh, this is quite latest. 30. Okay, this is today. Okay. Shares, meta, all of that. Okay, let's look at Vishal. Where is your graph? Anyone has done it? Just type in the chat box so we can have a look. Uh, see my graph. My graph is your demo. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Um, there's a lot of things here and then. Let's see, this is the one. Do 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 do. Uh, here, graphs at the bottom. Okay, nice, awesome, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's have a look here real quick. So look at the graphs here. It's 11, 11. So, where's the latest one? I think latest one is here. Okay, so it's 11, 11.53. The revenue was very similar, 9.72. And then the EPS was 2.7. Okay, just put the full year is good enough. Okay, so just there. So it looks like a drop. What about these? So 11 and then non-GAP 11.42. So it's an increase. Just look at the last one. So we're just going to compare to see if the similar situation happened. What happened to the stock? So you look at last time's 1.5449 and then 11.18. And then our number was 11. A lot of numbers, 9.6. Revenue 9.4. Yeah, so this is supposed to come down really nicely, but it didn't actually. Mm, wow, very difficult to read. Let me see. Ooh, this is full year revenue 6. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it right from the beginning so we can see it properly. So I'm gonna draw it so it's easier to see in a beautiful way. So let's just look at which one should we look at? January revenue up. If there's a full year, you don't even have to give the quarter. We just want the full year. So let's just take the full year. Let's just take 11. Okay. 11. And then what is this? Full year revenue. So there's no EPS here. And then what? And then revenue 1 point EPS. Let's go EPS. Wow. So it's not very consistent. So sometimes they give EPS, sometimes they don't give, which is normal. So let's find what they gave. 13% up, 6324, and then 67, and then revenue. What is this? This is not nothing there. Revenue was a lot of past tense going on. Yeah. Sometimes it's past tense, sometimes it's present tense. So Mel, you want to do well, you want to give everything is the same. You want everything to be guidance. Maybe they didn't give it, but a lot of past tense going on. Yeah. Um, we kind of want a guidance. So reported revenue was it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. So the numbers that you're supposed to write down is just the guidance. So the guidance that I want to see is just going to be that number. Uh, okay, that's fine. 9.7. I think I think you wrote the right number. 9 point, yeah, 9.7. Sometimes give me the range as well, so I know 100% this is actually the guidance. Okay. Okay, this is cool. This is nice. Um 11, 11. But it's just too many things though, too many numbers. So which one should we look at? If I look at EPS, if I look at revenue, so we just choose one, 9.58, 9.59. Okay, let's just do it in a very brief way because sometimes you might not see all the numbers. Let's just accept the numbers. This is 6. Suddenly the number is like 1. Like, what's going on? And then this number is like 1, 6 again. And then the revenue suddenly become 2. I think this is quarterly numbers now. and then it become 9, and then this is 2, this is a quarterly number, and this is 2, and then we have 9, and then we have 2, we have 9, we have 2, we have 9. How is this 95%? And then we got what? 9. We got 9. This okay. It's okay. It's not very clear. 9 and then 9.87. Yeah, it's okay. We might come back to this. Well done. Let's go to the next one. If you've done it, let me know. Let me see. Cool. Let me see. We got done. If you've done it, just let me know so we can have a look properly. Otherwise, we're gonna do it like this. So we're just gonna go market screener. So let's look at sometimes that things that we've done kind of in the past a little bit there. So let's see how we get them or how we got them. So I think who did it? Let's look. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N. Okay, this one. Let's click on this. Do. We got some really multi-millionaire students done really beautiful. So the last time we've got this kind of guide wire, you can see the change is 31%. Make it very simple for us to read. Can you see that? Just very simple. 31% is very huge change, you know, and you want to see whether the change is big or not, just like that. So this is 31%. And then the reason why we decided to short this guide wire, this was on 9th of September or 4th of September. So let's read it carefully one more time so you know why we short this guy. So this is 9.5, 10, always up, 10, always up, 10, up, 11, and then it was 11.15, and then suddenly it dropped to 10. So we never seen that drop before. What about the EPS? See, very easy to compare. 12, making's easy to read, Mel. 14, 14, very easy to read. 14, it was always up, and 14.9, and then 14.58, and then suddenly 12. So this drop was quite big. So revenue and EPS both dropped on this September 4th. So a lot of our students already start shorting it then. So a lot of students make a lot of money shorting it. So hence this is actually on one of our list guide wire because both revenue and EPS was down. Okay. So a lot of people make a lot of money from that. Now, the rest of it, eventually you're going to make money, but it's just taking time. So let's look at these fast sets as well. EPS is grow in the range of 100 to 150 during. Let's read it carefully. Why do we short this? Okay, the reason why we short because before this is why you want to make sure the jackpot, write it down. If you want to short something, you want to make sure everything says yes. So in this situation, you can see that the operating margin was dropped 32 to 29. You would have shorted it, operating margin. EPS was dropped 14 to 14.55. So it was dropped. However, what's the same is the revenue. The revenue was actually raising 2.4 to 2.3. So revenue was up. So the revenue is a bit tricky. So it's not a perfect thing, but if you short fat set, you should be okay. It's just that you're not going to make as much money, because it's not perfect for all of them. So this is fact set. So if you shorten like last week, since we spoke Tuesday, it went up really nicely as well. Because two things came down. Operating margin was down 32 to 29. EPS 14 for 4.2 was down. So well done. Some students make some money as well. But it's not perfect. It's not as perfect as the rest that we saw. Lena, let's have a look. Lena orders from 32 margin dropped from 4K to 17K. So you need to plot the graph. In order to short Lena, we need to plot the graph. But if you do Lena, it will be not too bad. New calls as well. 2.55 drop to that. Earnings in the third quarter expect to decrease. Expect all of that. The raw material. Need to see the graph a little bit. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Mel says you make 8,000 pounds. This well done. Well done. Now let's have a look. Next one right now. What am I doing? I want to go to look at students trade. Okay, this one. Let's get the date. Carnival 29. Oh, finally. Finally. Thank you so much. Let's have a look. So Carnival was up 3% in the early morning. Fact set revenue expect 0.2. Said expect to be 2.14. And previous was 1.97. So it was an increase actually, isn't it? Let's read this graph. It's easier to read like that. EPS 1.3, EPS 0.23. So this is just quarter to quarter. So EPS expected to compare to the previous EPS of 1.97. You want to give me the full year guidance, the full year EPS? Okay, we need the full year EPS. So what you're plotting for me is the quarterly EPS, which is okay, but it will be so much nicer if you got the full year 1.97. Yeah, I think you're giving me the quarterly guidance. We might have a look on that. Okay. Carnival. Maybe we can make some money on this. How much down? 2.14, 1.97. How much is that? You have to minus it. So I use 2.14 minus 0.197 is like 0. Let's do the calculation. 2.14 minus 1.97. 0.17. 0.17 divided by what? Divided by 0.97 times 100. It's around 8.6%. Okay. It's around 8.6% just right here. I use the new number minus the old number divided by the old number. Okay. So no training. That's okay. We might come back to that to potentially short that thing. So what about this? 14, 16, 159, 204, 2.5. Wow, this is huge. This keep going higher and higher. TD Next Corporation. This is huge. What about this? Intel Digital Racers. Miller Cole. Let's read this CAD together. So you got 899 to 926 revenue was up. EPS 0.32, 0.38. They are all up though. Expect 0.38 on 0.38, 0.38. Last time was 0.32. Let's look at this. Miller, no. Miller, no. Okay, just there, not going anywhere. Micron. Mm-mm-mm. Let's read together. Okay, let's do an example based on Micron. Okay, some people ask me what stock should we buy during when the time is really nice. I'm going to tell you right now. Let's do an example based on Micron. So, how we're going to do is I'm going to show you how we make it happen. So, let's look at the one right now first. So this is September. So this is 10 to 12. So obviously it's an up. 2.5 to 3.75. Obviously it's an ups as well. Okay. So this is where you realize that the difference between the both is more than 30%. 2.7 minus 2.5 is 1.25. 1.25 divided by 2.5. Probably 50%. Probably, yeah, 50% up in the EPS. That's huge. That's really huge. Micron. But you have to backtest to see in the past if it actually went up so much as well. So, yeah, it's quite nice. It's been going up like that. So that's huge. And so because it's so huge like that, Micron will be one of those things that we are gonna buy later on. Okay. But let's see if everything is huge. We want both revenue and EPS for those on the high level training. We want both to be 30%, remember? So let's do the calculation right now. 12.5 minus 10.7. 12.5 minus 10.7. 1.8. 1.8 divided by. Just give me a second. 1.8. Let's have a look. 12.5 minus 1.7. And then 1.8. 1.8 divided by, let's have a look. 1.8 divided by, let's have a look one more. Let's do it one more time. So let's come back. So micron technology, just right there. Okay, so yeah, so the increase in revenue, if you do a calculation, 12.5 to 10.7, that's around 18%. You minus it. The EPS 3.75, that EPS is good. Okay. So what about before? So last time we have the extreme fears was here, okay? The extreme fears was just around there, okay? So some people be like, okay, should we buy Micron or not during extreme fears? Just let's pretend it's here, okay? You'll be like, should you buy Micron or not? So what this is what you got to do. You got to look at the latest number, okay? Year over year. So you look at this number in March, and then you go to the March again, which is yeah, which is that. So let's just draw that one more time. So you got this March number, and you got this March number. To see whether you want to buy or not this guy, you want to make sure it's more than 30%. So let's have a look one by one. So the EPS you already know is 300% increase quarter three to quarter three. Would you agree? 0.45 times 3 is around 1.57. 300%. That's huge. That's more than 30%. It's more than our because the what's that name? The extreme fears happen in like, I don't know, 4th of April, pretend, yeah, 7th of April, 4th of April, yeah. So this is in March time. You can getting ready. It's like we are in like October time. You're getting ready, you're getting ready. So this is how you get ready. So you look at these numbers and you'll be like, okay, this is what happened. So it's like 300%, but we want revenue to be nice as well. So revenue, how much? 6.6 and 8.8. That's like what? 2.2 divided by 6.6. How much is that? 2.2 divided by 6.6. It's around 33%. Wow. So it hits, it is our target. Would you agree? It is our target because everything is more than 30%. So this should be in your watch list already at that moment, which a lot of our students did. So what you do, so at that moment when the extreme fears come, you'll be like, oh, let me take my watch list out, and this is a list I'm going to buy, and just click your button and you buy them. And this is how much you're going to make. So let's calculate. So normal index, you probably make like 30%, but if you do this in a proper way, you will make from here, which is around 60, it went to 161. So from 60 to 161. That's like in 5 months' time, 4 months' time. So 60 to 161, 60 to it's around three times your money. It's around 300% return of your money in a very short space of time. If you do SP 500, you only get 30%. That's very low. But if you use our powerful strategy, you get 300%. Yeah, that's quite incredible. And if you use our powerful, yep, if you know that market is way undervalued, more than 15%, you will use some leverage. You can go on eToro, you go on IG, you buy there. On eToro, the leverage is 20. So you times 20 here. How many percent you get? You make 6,000% on what? In 5 months time. That's crazy. And if you if you brush up more of the training, if you use option trading, for example, you would have times, if you buy a call option, you would have times 3, 3, 3, 3. This is what, 6,000. How much is it's actually 600, 6,000. This is what? How many zero? One, two, three, four. 30,000% of my real money, real trades. A lot of our students actually did that. Yeah, which I'm very, very happy to hear about. So is it 2020? Yeah, 20 plus 20, 30,000% of your money. Yeah. Option trading is actually very safe because you have very small risk when you do it the right way, but you have huge, huge return. But you need to make sure your stock actually move. You only use it when we are super, 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 which is we're undervalued by 15%. Yeah. For students on high level, you understand what I meant by undervalue by 15%. All right. So that's what I'm trying to do. So what about right now? You'll be like, or even the next time during extreme fear, should I buy this stock? You do the same thing. Okay. So what do? You go on this Q1, you do the same thing, and then you go on this Q1 again. So you just minus this guy, guys. So you just minus. So look at the revenue before was 8.7, now it's 12.5. So 4 divided by 8, 50% increase in the revenue. Wow, not bad. What about the EPS? 3, 1.7. That's 200% on your EPS. So definitely this one has to be in your watch list where we're gonna go all in to do the same thing. Because when we come to extreme greed, sorry, and when it comes to this crash later on, it's gonna crash down really nicely, probably to like 100 level. Okay. And then when you buy them back, chances are you're gonna times 3 times of your money again. And if you use proper leverage, you use just times. This is what I meant. You just need just one time. You don't need 200 times. The 30,000 that I talked about just now, if you're £1, you make 30,000. Just imagine you have £1, 30,000 pound, 30 times 30,000% of your money. £1, you make 30,000 pounds. If you're £10, you make 300,000 pounds in 5 months' time. If you make 300,000 pounds in 5 months' time, would that make your life slightly easier? Let's show you some calculation. This is zero. Yeah, 30,000. This is 30,1230. Okay. 30,000 means 30K. Okay. 30,000 times your because it's 300%, 30,000. Probably just around there. Yeah. You need to do some a little bit of calculation. So probably just around there. So which is not too bad. Okay. I would show you more. So just put on the watch list Micron. Yeah. Make sure you have this. Don't ask me what to buy. So this is why doing the guidance is so important. While you are doing the guidance, you are putting it into your watch list. Some people will be like, Raven, can I filter this on like some other stuff? You can't actually filter this because okay, let's try to filter. Now, if you filter this is based on guidance. So guidance is not filterable. Okay, guidance is not filterable. Let me just give you some example. So let's have a look. Chat mirror, let's have a look. Um, so let's give some examples right now. Let's say I go on like whatever sectors that is, and I choose valuation more than like that. If you don't understand, that's fine. Let's just accept it for now. Let's say it's 30%. Um, 30%. So you see, Micron is not probably gonna be in there. So how do I do is Micron is gonna be in there? Oh, Micron is actually in there. Yeah, Micron technology is actually in there. So the 62. What if I do a little bit more? Let's see. I see I have 39. That's still quite a lot. 32. Is Micron in there right now? It's gone because Micron is only 300% the last time we checked. Okay. Yeah, the Micron is in there, so that's fine. But it's just that we got a lot more going on. 62 companies. That's crazy. Micron is here. Let's click Micron and have a look. We go to fundamental analysis and you look at the, the EPS is 500. EPS is revenue is 48. So 45 still okay. EPS is next year 63. Next year is 32. So if you filter them, if you want it to be included, 45 should be okay. What did you say just now? EPS is 60. EPS TTM. That's why EPS TTM is 500. So that's no problem. Revenue TTM is 48. So that we have 38. Let's do 45. So Micron should still, yeah, Micron should still be in here. Now we have like 35 crazy company going on there. Yeah, you can see in the past 6 months, a lot of these companies make 600% using our filter. Crazy. Micron was how much? Micron is only like 53%. We checked just now is way bigger because this past 6 months, it doesn't take into consideration of the bottom. So if Microns we checked just now is so big, you can imagine this is even bigger. So you can see why sky is the limit when you get good at this. But anyway, let's come back to our chart. Um, which is just right here. Thor. Let's have a look on this. Yeah. So when you are doing it constantly, for those who are who we had when we have really had our sessions, and when you are doing the guidance, you kind of have to uh put that onto the list. You kind of have to know what are the 10 stocks you kind of want to get ready. And do some research about them is really nice as well. Anyway, let's come back. So this is 339, so they are all increased. So I think that's about it. That's about it. So let's do it together right now. Let's go to micro market screen, huh? Let's go news analysis, market analysis, all news. Where is it? Companies guidance. Let's go on that. So we just changed this guy to North America. For people who do not know, this is a chance for you to watch how I do it. Lulula Nike is not even up today. It's crazy. Anyway, so September 29, September 25. So there's not a lot. So it's quite easy to go through. The last time when we have our session is 30 minus 23. So it's not a lot. Let's do it together, okay? It's not so much. So we can do it to reiterate. We don't do it. People say how to do it fast. I'm teaching you how to do it fast right now, guys. Watch it together. Correction, that's okay. That's okay. This is a Canada, so we don't look at it. Lifts, so it's a buy. Lifts is a buy. Paychecks boost is a buy. Reaffirm is the same. Provides is a provide. We can look at it because we never know. Beats is okay. Rebrand revenue outlook set. Let's look at what this is set for. Provides, we can look at them. Adjusted growth lifted is a buy. United outlook following quarterly beat upbeat. So it's come to lamb net increase, lamb building. Beats is a buy. Beats is a buy. Uh, reaffirm is the same. Imperial. We're just looking for something to show and something that everything crashes down like that. Okay, just see if there's stock like that. If there is, there is. If there is no, that's fine. Booze, revenue, progress, targets, bank, races, carnival races, annual profit, outlook, medium term, Barrick Gold, carnival, cuts annual loss. Cuts actually is a good thing. Maybe this UNSIG provides because they didn't say up or down. Essential. Let's look at essential. Concentrix 4. I think some of the students did it just now. Really nice. Let's click here again to read it. Reaffirms the same. Concentrix. Let's have a look on that. Students made 8K on that. Really nice. Limited provide. Let's have a look on that. Starbucks cuts job. Cut job is a good news for company because they save costs. Accenture, Chevron provides is okay. Upbeats provide raises. September. Or really what you're looking for? I'm just looking for things that is cutting guidance, just about that. Lowers fiscal outlook. We can do on that. Outlook diluted provides 24. I think we done all of this last week as well. Sinta leaves. How did you find? Okay. So there's a guidance. You can go to profit warnings to see some profit warning downgrades, tech, pharmaceutical. Let's look at just the US would be nice. Used car retailers, fuller updates guidance. Freeport provides earning guidance. UK flag profit loss. What is this? Baltic classified 3 to 4 below expectation. Mm, Crochet mornings. Okay, let's look. Wow, there's a lot. Now, let's look at the first one. United Natural Food provide guidance in the range of 31 and all of that. Um, we need to see what happened before. So you have to go to the website directly. It's good to go to the website. Natural Food, we went out a lot. This is what. So we have to go to the website on this as well because they didn't say. Maintain is fine. This is RMB. It's like a Chinese stock. The guidance was mixed against previous estimate. Was mixed when you know the numbers. Someone else did it just now. So 11 last time was 11.53. Last time 9.72. Now the revenue went out a little bit. So it's a mix. Concentrics. We done that. Done that. Blackberry. We need to compare the one before. Blackberry Limited. Okay. When was that? 29. Okay. Jabil. We're gonna have to plot. So we need to know what happened before. So it looks like we have to go through forecast upbeat full year results. So it's a good news. So we're gonna remove that. KB lowers. Previous was 6.3, now it's 6.1. It's a down, but it's very small down. KB home. It's a down, but it's quite a small down. It's less than 10%. Yeah, 6.3 to 6.1 is quite a small down. HB Fuller, down 2 to 3. We didn't really know what happened before. So one is 4% lower, one is 6%. We kind of have to see what happened before as well. UK Beach, let's have a look. So they tell us what happened now, but we do know what happened before as well. What is this? UK on the beach group. Do. Okay, interesting. We draw the graph one by one. Baltic, let's look. Expect full year. Volkswagen. Forecast 37. Previous was also 37. 3 to 5. Everything's the same for Volkswagen. Pets at home. 90 million compared to 115. Pets at home. It's not a big difference. Yeah. Cool. So we just a few traits just to look at to see kind of what happened. The first one is going to be this guy called accurate. So it's expect that 2000 service to expect that. So we need to see what happened before in order to buy or short. So we're just gonna go on type investor. Because there's no point knowing what happened now. You got to know what happened before as well. Announced company rebrand provides outlook for the 3 months and the full year. Okay, let's open that. Looking ahead. So that's what they are thinking. So we need to compare to see the one before. This is the guidance. Let's see if there's numbers here. In the connection of the recent complete actively reviewing, provide refresh, anticipate with the third result, commitment, all of that. Where is it? So it's not really showing us accurate. Let's look. Okay, this is just today. They just acquire a new company, so they are not showing us the guidance. That's what they say. Announce result for the first quarter. That's what it is. Guidance reiterate expectation to be in a low, mid, single digit compared to the full year. What about this? 1.5, 1.5. But we need to know what happened before, though. So when things like that, you kind of have to, this is why it can be very subjective. You kind of have to know because sometimes they use the word reiterate means it's the same and they expect low to mid single digit range as compared to the future year. So when they change the wording, you kind of have to delve in a little bit just to see what do they actually mean? Yeah, because they say it's the same. This is in March. So same means what? So you kind of have to go to one more quarter before just to see what they're on about. So let's go to one more quarter. Maybe March time. Full year revenue to be the low to mid single digits compare, or we continue to exceed lower customers. So they just use the word low to mid single digit range. The growth. So what numbers is that? Let's have a look. So let's say the revenue was around here, 633. And then now, yeah, just to compare a little bit. You kind of have to sit down and kind of calculate properly. And they acquire a new company, so it can be a bit tricky. Accurate, let's have a look. Accurate. It's like a new company. It's a very new company. Cool. Eccentric, someone found it just now. As you say, eccentric is okay. The only thing that eccentric has in problem is the revenue was actually down. Let's just write eccentric down here. So today was like 1st of October. Eccentric was like concentric was the EPS was down, but revenue was up. So I want us to look at that. Cool. Let's have a look. How come I didn't find A Canada? How did you find A Canada? So look, A Canada. Is it Canada stock? Yeah, it's a Canada stock. Okay, that's fine. So go to news. So A Canada, which is here, lower the full year guidance from the strike. Okay, let's look at your work. Well done. Do 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 do. Let's go on there. See. Well done. Let's have a look. Carlo was getting into the three traits. Very good. Where do you find these three traits from, though, Carlo? Okay, let's have a look. Reiterating is the same. What about before? 3.2. 3.2. 2.9. It's a bit down. And ASN capacity 0.5 to 0.5 versus compared to 1 to 3 increase versus previously seen. 2 to 2. Air Canada. Last year's was 3.2. Decline due to cancellation. The first is the refund compensation, lower booking, increment in cost. Okay, cool. So let's see if it happened before. If it happens before, so we're just gonna go down. Let's read it from here. 3.7, 3.7 is the same. 3.1. Mm. Supposed to go down, but it didn't. 3.5 supposed to go up, it did. 3.4 supposed to go down, it did. 3.2 supposed to go down, it's not. 3.2 is the same. And then now 2.9. Okay, so let's see if last time if decrease, does the stock went down? So what is this? Capacity 0.5 to 1.5. Let's look at the capacity. 6 to 8, 6 to 8, 5. This is the bottom of the market, I think. And then 5% increase. 3 to 5, he went down. 1 to 3. 1 to 3. Reiterating the guidance, adjusted number 3.2, capacity 1 to 3 increase. Okay, cool. So this is Air Canada. You have to look at the seasonality a little bit to see if it continues to come down during this stage as well. Guidance the down 9%. Yeah, you're right. Backtesting is a bit weird. Okay. You are a little bit right. There's some reasons for that as well. Air Canada. Now the thing is because airline flights, you never seen any airline they just keep getting higher and higher. Most of the airline they just go up and then come down, go up and come down. They are quite stable in a sense. So let's check the PE of this guy, Air Canada. If the PE is not super low, we could short them. Historical PE ratio. If the PE is not like at the bottom, then we could potentially give this a short or a try. So let's look at 3 years. So the bottom will be 0. Okay, the bottom will be 0. So it's kind of okay at the top there. It's always at the top there. It used to be 4, it used to be 3. Now it's around 5. Yeah, it's not at the bottom. It's quite high compared to the past. So it's okay. A Canada, let's short this guy. A Canada, well done. The EPS dropped 9%. And what else? And the net income, the revenue was kind of from what? 3.2. Let's write it down. 3.2 to 2.9. EBITDA 3.2 to 2.9. So 8% drop. While the capacity, let's read it here. So what is this? Air Canada provides certain update full year impact. The flight situation. It's nice to see where they fly to, Air Canada. Where do they usually fly to? Because if they fly to some war zone, if you think next time it's gonna happen, they're gonna have more kind of like situation. So it's about whether or not they're gonna be fully packed. They're gonna be like a normal again. People is gonna travel more and go there more. So it's just about that. Yeah. Cool. So what is this? As follows down from previous guidance 0.5 compared to 1 to 3. So let's read this. Is it updated? Restoring updating full year to reflect financial labor expectation as follows. Down capacity versus 1 to 3. So capacities from 1 to 0.5. Drop from 1% to 0.5. Okay. So that's kind of what happened. Let's go at A Canada. A lot of students would have already shorted this when it announced on 24th. Okay. If you short it on the 24th of September till today, are you gonna make money or are you gonna lose a lot of money? So 24th of September was just around like here. Yeah, it's been coming down quite nicely there as well. Your target or your target, we just need to check the season. You need to follow this a little bit. Your target will just probably just be around the next support line. Plot the graph really nicely to see last time when it's 2.9, what happened. So let's have a look. So let's say this is 2.9 now. Yeah. So you go back in time to see what happened to the stock. This is 3.2. This is 3.4. This is 3.5. This is 3.1. This is 3.7. This is 3.7. So obviously it's going to go down. If it's 2.9, it's going to come down here, like 1200, because previously when I was making 3.7, my line is here. When I was making 3.1, my line is here. When I was making 3.2, my line is here. So if it's 2.9, your line is supposed to be here, like that. So making this an okay short. All right? Your line is supposed to be lower than any lines that you've got before. Check the capacities as well. Yeah. Awesome. Air Canada. That's it. That's it for now. And some people asking, oh, the government is shutting down and all of that. Is that going to have a lot of impact? Usually, government shutdown in the US, there's actually not massively an impact. Yeah. Give it a try. Put this in your practice account for those who are new, and let's see how it goes. So well done, everyone, and hope you learned something new today. So remember to put this. Hopefully next week, guys, do the homework. Do all of the countries of the homework. Just come on to do one. If you want to get good at this type of skill, if you want to be able to make a lot of money later on when the situation comes, you need to know how to do the guidance because if you don't do the guidance, you won't have the confidence. But if you do the guidance, you backtest many times, you have a lot of confidence going up. Yeah. If you need help, send me a text and we can see what we can do from there. All right. Everyone, if you come with one guidance, it's enough already. You know how many people we have in this group? It's a lot of people. So if you just come with one, wow, that's all. So let's look at main questions. Can you teach step by step how to place an order and limit? I try to watch a few YouTube video and don't get it. Okay, let me show you May. How do you do a order and limit? All of the platforms, they are very, very similar. Okay. All you need to know is literally you want to know whether you want to buy or you want to sell. Okay, that's all you need to know. So let's pretend you want to know when to buy and sell. So you click the buy if you want to buy here. You put your size that you kind of want, and you put the price level that you want. You want to buy at 1600, you want at 60. Let's say you want to sell Air Canada. Okay, you want to sell Air Canada. So you will be like, the market is closed right now. I want to sell at the current price. The price is 1756. So you put here 1756. So whatever stock, whatever size you put, make sure the margin is very similar. And then you put it there and you click buy, click short. If you want to short, you just click short and you call it a day. So that's what happened. Okay. Um, do it on your practice account, mate. So you can see. Can you elaborate? How can we know it's time to sell? Harjina is asking, can you elaborate? How can you know when it's the time to sell? You will know it's a time to sell usually for a stock when the guidance change, when the week four training, when the guidance change massively, when the guidance decline, that's where you want to run away. Sometimes we do backtest of EPS. Is it important to match a historical EPS to our calculation? Yes, Harjinder, you're absolutely right. When you are doing the thing, you always want to backtest to see, to give you more confidence to see what happened. Can you elaborate a copy of this lesson? Well done. Awesome, everyone. That's it for now. We've got RJ here. Congratulations, RJ. I hope you're doing the homework so we can start your session. Alvin, we have Ann. Nice to see you. We have Amin doing really well. I mean, you can send your spreadsheet here. That's fine. We have Bebek, we have Bobby, we have Calvin, nice, we have Carlo. Well done, Carlo. You're doing really well. Chi Hang, long time. When you can send me a text, David doing really well. Abby. Long time we have Favor, we have Harsh, we have Jack, we have Javia, Jen. Jack, I saw your well done. Kim Pan, we have Leo, really nice. We have Marian, Leo, really, really good as well. Mario, we have May, Mel, Michael, Nora, nice, Patty, and Suki, and Yoi, and Sam. How you doing, Sam? And Roxana. Really, really nice. Awesome, everyone. Um, cool. So Jenna say thank you. You're welcome. Good night. And Ajay saying thank you. Maria saying thank you. Can you share what the strategy would be if the market is downturn for a long period, like 1 to 2 years? Downturn for a long period, like a 1 to 2 years. Uh, then you will be, if it is really like that, we will be doing the same. We will be going to find the guidance that's decreased big time. Well, congratulations, and you found really, really good trades. First of all, if things really come down big time, we will find guidance trades. We will find guidance trade that went down big time. I will do my homework. Mel, you're really, really good. What is ASM? I haven't done it. Is it important? Can you look at mine? Awesome. I think I've gone through all of the questions. If I haven't talked about yours, let me know. Bye, bye, bye. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool. Abby, you're welcome. We have Patty, we have Jen, we have Yogi. Yeah, give it a try. Awesome. So, I mean, I'm waiting for your chart. Just I need to host some panelists. Let's have a look real quick together. Where is yours? I mean, let's have a look. Okay, let me do in front of you. So, for some of the students, you have some homework to compare your competitors. Okay, you want to compare between Adidas and Nike. You want to compare between Uber and Grab. You want to compare between all of that. So, how do we compare? The most important part when it comes to comparing stock, because the only reason how you become a really great trader is when you actually compare one of the competitors. You ask yourself, do I want to buy Adidas right now or Nike right now? Yeah, things like that. So, let's do one. Okay. Like for example, healthcare stocks is quite cheap right now. Some people want to buy some healthcare stock. Lily could be a good thing. Buying £10, £20, £50 Lily is absolutely fine. Called Eli. We might do the earning guidance. Someone do the earning guidance on Lily, you will have a really great confidence on that. How do I even spell Eli? LLY? Yeah. LLY? Yeah, that one. This is a healthcare stocks. It's a drug manufacturing stock. Donald Trump has been trying to reduce the drug big time. So now they're trying to stabilize the drug a little bit. So let's look at Lilly real quick. Let's look at the PE ratio and everything of Lilly. So Lilly historical PE ratio. It's around 44. It can be quite expensive. UNH is only around 10 or 15 or 18. So usually you're welcome, Chance. Usually it's around 25, 29. It was just around, okay, let's look. Where are we? 26, 43, 53, 65, 50, 49. Let me have a look. 23, 33. Let me have a look. 22, 22, 69, 49. Okay. It's not the cheapest yet, but it's okay. Let's look at the price to free cash flow a little bit. Let's see. Okay, this is quite similar. Price to book, price to sales ratio. Let's have a look real quick on this. You should be very high and coming down slowly. Okay. So let's get compared between Ely. To compare, you can understand a little bit of what they do. So Ely, you can see is a drug manufacturer. Is based in the US. It's a healthcare sector. You look at the chart. You can see the chart is kind of okayly in the middle like that. Okay, so it's been not going higher since was it 25 April. Since last year April, it's been dropping like that. So and some people will be like, will we? Okay, let's have a look. So this is April time. Okay, cool. So let's have a look right now. So this is kind of what happened. So you want to do the guidance of this Lily real quick. So to see, oh, is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? Because otherwise, you don't know whether to buy or not. So let's type what's the name of this company? LLY. Okay, it's just LLY. So let's look at this, and then we go on all news. Is it recorded? And we go on all news like that. And then you do the same thing like that. Let's have a look. So you look at Lily drugs a little bit. What is it saying? A little bit obtains FDA, all of that. Plans launching. We just want the guidance, really. So you can see drugs company a bit tricky. There's a lot of things going on here. Cautious, invest. A lot of drugs, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. If they make drugs, they make money. So, okay, let's go to press release straight away because I just want the guidance on this guy. Okay, let's have a look. Financial analyst, balance sheet, company profile, news. Let's go to press release. Oh, there's still a lot of words. Basically, we're just looking at the guidance. Declare the quarterly result. Declare earning presentation press release. So let's open this one. Let's see if there's any other one. The next earnings of this guy is the end of October. Maybe there's a spike, maybe there's no spike. But maybe there's a spike up of this during the earnings. Let's look this one, Lily August 7th. Okay, let's compare these two a little bit. Okay, so revenue, pipeline, EPS, we have a solid start, 45% year over year. There's a very strong growth. Remember, more than 30, we'll be quite happy. Our pipelines continue to do quite okayly well. Financial result. What about the guidance? Yep, that's the guidance here. Let's read it. So, updates, all of that reflect, acquire, reaffirm. So it's the same. Expect between 58 to 61. Margin is still the same. So the guidance is not dropping. EPS guidance for decrease to the range 20, driven by this is some investment that's okay, driven by all of that financial adjusted. So the guidance is here. So let's go to the one before. The one before, the guidance was around. Where is it? 60 to 62. So we don't have that. So the next one, 20.85. 20.85. Okay, there's a real drop. That's okay. Earning per share reported. This is already done. Oh, previous update. Okay, this is good. So revenue was no change. I think this is the guidance. They make it summarize for you very nicely. That's good to see. So unchanged. Performance margin 40%. That's okay. Unchanged means what? Sometimes Nvidia is also unchanged and it's also 40%, 50%. So it can be good. Yeah. Because it's unchanged, but it's also growing like that. So it can be quite nice. And unchanged is okay. Um, Unchanged tax rate 20. The EPS were dropping a little bit because they are investing in some other stuff. Okay. So as long as the revenue is okay, then it's okay. It's still 40%. So extreme fear time or extreme greed time is still okay. So if you go to this Lily, and you will see that the EPS is 75%, which is quite okay. Next is 32%, 41%. Okay. So let's read a little bit about Lily, so that you kind of see what might happen for Lily real quick. Wow. Okay, let's look at this. This is Lily. So the thing about Lily is that, so you can see the EPS, the revenue was all high. So because of the Trump new policies, so they sell a lot of drugs worldwide. They sell like diabetes, oncology. Okay. Yep. So yeah, it's just 75, 32, 41.5. So the next earnings is kind of end of October. So it's just to say, potentially this might spike out a little bit because the earnings, everything's look more than 30%. It's not a bad company. And it's just the reason why a lot of things coming down is because a lot of the healthcare sectors comes down. Everyone is like that. It's because of Trump presses down a lot of the drug prices. So when Trump no longer kill the the healthcare company, the one with the highest growth in the sector, the company is going to come out faster than anybody else. Okay. So doing small positions on this is quite really, really fine on a kind of long-term kind of trades. You want to at least pass on to the next earnings. Okay. Check when is the next earnings. And today there's also something quite interesting happened called LAC. Let's have a look. What is LAC? There's a stock called Lithium American Corporation, literally. So let's see. Is it this one? You have to take a stake on that. Okay, let's open this guy. Okay, LAC. Okay, LAC stock price. What is this? Let's see. LAC stock price. Okay, let's have a look. So, um, let's get LAC real quick. Do. Where do we find that? Do. This is a governments to take a stake. Let's continue. Just give me a second. Let me just see. Yeah, this one. Let's see. Mm. Just give me a second. Somebody else. Cool. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this guy. LAC. So these are kind of a lot of this LAC. So usually this is to do with like government buying stocks now. It's kind of like a kind of like a crazy thing, like a kind of like a thing to be noted for. So last time, for example, Intel stocks used to be really bad. Okay, Intel stock used to be so bad, and then suddenly, and government comes in. I mean, Trump comes in and say, you know what? I want some of Intel stocks. So let's see, does he say around here? Trump moves towards deal to give US an equity stake in the company development. Okay, this guy. So Lithium American Corp on the 26th of September, um, Trump suddenly announced that, where is it? Yeah, that the White House is moving forward with a deal that will allow the US government to take a small equity in a Canadian company that's developing one of the world's largest lithium mine in Nevada, Northern Nevada, Los Angeles. Department of Energy developers process around that would allow the project to move forward. We will be using to make electric vehicle batteries. General Motors has pledged 900 million to help develop that, to hold enough lithium to build enough EV car. The the proposed equity stake is the latest example of Donald Trump administration's intervening directly in private companies. Is getting around 10% of Intel. Previously, the administration spent 400 million of tax money on MP material stock to make US government the biggest owner in the Las Vegas rare miners. Trump also made a deal with MND and MMD to give the US government 15% cut of revenue from selling certain chips. So I'm going to click all of this. You will see what happened to so NP material. Let's look at NP material. NP material. Let's have a look. So okay, I think there's a spike just there when they take over it. Okay. So just need to like the exact date a little bit. So 400 million is not a lot, but let's look at the date on this. So when is this? Click. When is this the date announced? This is around 16th of July. Okay, 16th of July. If you done this trade on the 16th of July, oops. 16th of July, which is right here. You can see things really coming up really nicely. But this happened actually before as well. Yeah, it happens before. So if you go to MP, what's called MP material, you go to market screener, it's kind of tell you when it happened before. So you're just gonna click on that, MP materials, and you go on news. This is why reading, having done, what's that called? But I'll come back to that later on. So 16th of July, let's say before the 16th of July, would you know, will you know anything? So where's 16th of July? So 16th of July is around here. So let's read it carefully. Um the resource of command. What is this to deal with MP to expand? So 16th of July is where they have American only producer get a boost from. So a lot of these agreements kind of going on, like joint supported at Pentagon, the one that we just like this, there's some deal coin going on, acquisition. Well, during acquisition, the small companies normally stock will go up a little bit. Okay. So let's pretend before the 16, would you have known it already if you use market screener? Looking forward, 15, you probably know a little bit. What about before? What about before all of that? So 15, 13, would you know it? 13, 11. So July source on MP material multi US deal. July 11, maybe. Let's go another one. Shares 10. Let's see, 10 Pentagon Invest, all of this 10. Let's go at 9. Is there anything on the 9? Announce you will receive 400 in funding. You already knows as well, even on the 9. Let's continue. What about the 7, the 30th? So 9 is probably where you actually know about it. Okay. 9. So if you bought it on the 9, when you realize MP announced it expect to receive 400 million in funding. If you click on that, um, announce private enter shares with this is the guy, warrant, prefer convertible. So literally receive money from the Department of Defense. This is the US government. So on the 9th of 7, which is 9, which just be, yep, 9 would just be here. So you would just before kind of like the jump there and eventually just the jump a little bit nicely. Would you be able to know it before the 9th? Let's have a look. Would you be able to know before the 9th? So this is 9, this is 7, this is 7, this is 30th. Stockfall Energy 24 present participate may beneficiary maybe okay MP material on the June 12th you kind of know maybe prime beneficiary of Trump administrator of rare earth plant so maybe is there yeah maybe even the 12th is same quite many times as well so even if born on June 12, you'll be like, oh, maybe June 12 would just be like that. So you will kind of take quite a lot of things kind of going on. And it's not just that, almost every single thing is like that. This is another strategy where we talked about it in kind of in a higher level training in the previous chapters as well. Let's go to that one. Even Intel. Let me show you Intel. If I show you Intel, um, if you just go on news, Intel. So let's say this guy tells you on, where is it? So we have done this MP material. You know, or you already know you make money on that. So let's look at Intel right now. Um, okay, this is Intel. So let's say when it actually do something. Where's my beautiful? Oh, I lost that beautiful thing. Let me just see. Where do I is my beautiful paper? Oh my God, I literally lost that beautiful page. Let me find that page again. Latest recently closed rare earth pairs empty announced funding. Okay, this is the one I think. Oops. Let's see. Just want to find the page where it gives you everything. Anyway, let me drink some water first. Yes, it's not. So we might be excited. Ah, mm, ah. Let me show you another one. So let's go to Intel real quick. All right. Let's go to Intel. What am I doing? I'm finding Intel. So where's Intel? Okay, yeah, here. So um let's pretend you kind of know Intel the price is gonna jump. Let's say this is a date where they announce it. The question is, would you be able to know before that? This is 18th of September. So what you do, let's go to Intel. Okay, 18th of September, you'll be like, you know, 18th of September, which is the date where US wins from Nvidia Intel chip deal. Okay, so um in Intel deal, there's a deal going on. Nvidia takes 5 billion stake in Intel, offers chipset to left lifeline to struggling chip maker. So as we say, whenever big companies buy a small company, the small companies always become better. Yeah. It happens so many times. Blizzard, Microsoft used to buy Blizzard, and Blizzard share went up big times as well. A lot of things happen like that. It's been there for thousands of years. It's one of the oldest and easiest money making strategies. So Nvidia was buying that. Um, so this is 18th of September. The question is, would you be able to know before the 18th of September? So this is all the 18. Trump administration. mm, let's say Nvidia partnership, all of that, if you read it properly a little bit, this is all 18, and we had to invest 5 billion for Intel for AI. So that's okay. Let's go at 17th of September. Before all of that, would you be able to know anything? 16. Now, 15th of September, Finch, one of the analysts says US government investment in Intel may distort investment in US by foundry. So kind of giving you hint already. September 15. So September 15, you'll be like, where's September 15? Yeah, there's kind of like before the spike here. Yeah, let's continue. Where are we? So 15, you got a bit of hint where the Finch literally said, one of the very famous guy said, not a famous guy, it's a famous company. US government literally you know has a plan to do that. Intel Trim 15, these are all the 15. What about 14? Would you be able to know on the 14 then announced? Okay, look at this. September 14, guys. Very clear cut money putting in your pocket there. Intel Corporations announced that it expect to receive a 5 billion, 4.99999 billion in funding from Nvidia. So September 14, when you read that, you'll be like, oh, money is coming in. So this is before, this is what? 14. So you one more day extra for you. So this is 14 doing nothing. Monday doing nothing, Tuesday doing nothing, Wednesday, Thursday only when the deals strike. The rest are just doing nothing for like long time. If I keep going, you will see there's actually more hint going on. Let's see. Another bike, announce key, announce key, announce key, announce key, present, Texas, um, Intel, amends Chips Act deal with US commercial, gets 5.7 billion early. Let's look at that. Intel received full amount of accelerated reimbursement under direct funding. Let's look. Amends Chips Act deal Intel it amended CHIPS Act funding to remove earlier projects milestone and receive 5.7 billion in cash sooner than planned. The move gave Intel strikes the amendment degree revises funding retail prevent chipmaker from using the funds to buy back. As part of the deal, issue the promise to give the government shares. This is on the 29th of August. Yeah, so it's around there. So government was buying companies a little bit like that. So giving money is received 5.7. So Nvidia was buying it, government was getting into it. So if you go to the back, to the back, to the back, you will see that hints is everywhere before things come. So let's see what's the earliest one. So Trump administration, all of that. Intel warns US. Yep, Intel warns US state could hurt international sales. Um, Intel's agreement for the US government on the 25th. Let's go to the back. 25th. Trump says to announce Intel equity stake on Friday, August 22nd. So it gives you plenty of time, August 22nd. It gives you plenty of time. So Intel was used to be kind of like a dead stock. Let me show you. It used to be like, it used to do things with Apple for the longest time, and it went up big time. And Apple was like, you know what, let me do my own chip. And then it went down big time until Intel literally just been there. And then suddenly when the government comes in and want to do something, you know, plenty of opportunity there, just keep going higher and higher and higher. Yeah, Intel is one of the top performing stock right now for a long time. So this is Intel. Okay, there's so many things going on. Let me just show you another one. Because the more you see it, the better that you're gonna get. Today, there's another one. That's crazy. That's what crazy about this. So, what's another one? Um, uh, I lost that page where it gives all of the companies like that. Let me see. How can I find this guy? MP stock latest. Maybe it's this page. Move towards. Maybe it's this page. Maybe this page. There's a page where there's a lot. Okay, yeah, this one. So we've done MP material. We've done Intel. Where's Intel? Getting, yeah, Intel, we've done it. Okay. So let's click on this. Let's see what is this. Click on that. So this is like, what day is this? This is like August 23rd. But you kind of know it way before that, 1 month to even sometimes even 2 months, a few weeks before that. Yeah. So putting a layer bit there, waiting for the jump is quite nice. And then what else do we have? Administration spent 400K on what Nvidia AMD to give government also. So both of these stock also jump. Let me show you. You will get a 15 cut underway to China a little bit. So did they give the money? Sales to China, part of the export license halted. This is Nvidia in Washington allowed them. So you want to see the government gives the money a bit. So this both jumps as well. Okay, they got a deal. So this both jump. The latest one. Okay, official decline size of the USD in lithium America, but it says it will be very small, less than 10 cash buffer. Lithium asked to structure a federal loan. We support the project to move. Anonymous, critical like lithium. We don't believe in free money. And the topics discuss all of that, gym, all of that, gym, all of that. So you kind of know these guys as well. Where are we? This is Intel. We've done that. Okay, this is Lithium America. So you kind of know this in 26th of September. That's like 3 days from today. Okay, 26th of September. And then you kind of know the Trump moves towards deal to give US an equity stake in a company developing Nevada lithium mine. So this is September 26th. And then 25th, do we have anything? 25th, yep, there's a little bit of up near 17 as US government reported 25th of September there as well. The waiting game 25th. Downgrades. Material ends lower. Okay, US stake in lithium poses long terms. The resource 90%. It looks like it's long time before. Share jumps. possible US government stake, possible, still thinking, search over possible, still thinking. Let's see if we have more. Lithium discussion, TS's project could be part of 10%, the 23rd of September. Still talking about possible. What else do we have? So this is 23rd, this is 9, this is 8, this is August. President CEO major construction is progressing well. August. Cut announce quarterly result, publish flawless plan. Lithium cells. This is May now. Okay, so the first hint you really get from this company is really in September, which is yeah, Lithium America 2.3 billion loan Nevada mine under review by Trump. 23rd of administration. 23rd is when you start paying attention to Lithium America. LAC. 23rd is where you really start paying attention to Lithium America. What is 23rd? Let's have a look. 23rd is around, yeah, just around there, just kind of before that. So that's kind of what happened. So and then later on it jumps a little bit, and then you kind of get in a little bit. And then what happened today, 30th of September, like right now actually, while we are speaking, another news kind of comes out, and they say so 23rd, let's look at 23rd again. So whereas you start paying attention, where is 23rd? So 23rd, where Lithium America loans for Nevada under review by all of that. And then Nevada could part with 10% stake with Trump administration. This is all September 23rd. Okay, September 23rd. You haven't got anything before that. 999 claims interest, solar enhancing portfolio. Okay, that's about that. Okay. And then what happened? And what happened here is today, right now, 28 minutes ago, US stake in Lebanon to boost project. So there's another news coming in where there's a stake going on, US to stake states to boost America. So it just happened right now. And as a result, while we are speaking, Lithium America has climbed 20% after hours. So it climbs even higher going on there. Yeah, interesting, isn't it? It's powerful. So this is a strategy where we call it as a acquisition strategy. We really show students on the highest level trainings as well. So it's a really interesting, really powerful strategy. So what's that mean? That means that moving forward a little bit, just know this a little bit or two. Yeah. So that's kind of what happens as well. So this is just interesting. Um, and 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 yeah, so moving forward, you kind of know what to do. Kind of like whenever you see, a company is about to absorb someone, you know, um, and you kind of want to be ready for that. Yeah, cool. So would you wait for the market sign to get into stocks? Would you DC in the market? Like, I will wait for sign, and actually, I will wait for at least to be in the fear zone to get in. Okay. Oracle company, the reason why it spiked up is actually because it's the same. It's the same. They also receive some money. They receive 400 billion, not from the government, but from a lot of different companies. Yeah, that was quite some time ago. Yeah, awesome. So tomorrow you will see, LAC is gonna be the next big topic everyone talk about. Yeah. And the good news about this is that when 20% or 42%, let me see how much, 32% now while we are speaking. Okay, just now was 20%. While we are speaking is 32%. So 33% right now. So it's actually 40% if I refresh it properly. And the good news about this is that we're going to be giving you a little bit more of this hint as we kind of proceed some more. Yeah. And when you do like options trading on stuff like that, your risk is so small, but your reward is so big because 32% times 100, you make 3,000% in a very short space of time. Okay. And you only put in like what? Like £100. 5.71. If you put option trading, probably £500. Yeah, $500, like £500, £400. You put at £300. So you're risking like £200, £100. But when you make like 5 times 3,000%, 3,000%, 5 times 3,000%. Let me see how much is that. 500 times 3,000%. It's a bit tricky. Let's do percentage. Yeah, 15K just like that. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Cool. Awesome, everyone. We'll talk more about that. We'll review more of this powerful stuff as we move on from time to times as well. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, especially for students on the proper level training. So a lot of great, powerful things coming in. So I'm just so excited for a lot of you. That's it for now. I hope you learned something new. So and I will speak to you very, very soon. Yeah, awesome. You're welcome. I'm saying thank you, and thank you. Cool. Speak to you soon. Take care now. Bye. Bye.